let's talk about the format of the test first. As I promised you the other day, you will have 10 multiple choice questions, and you will have 20 short answers. That doesn't mean there'll be that many questions, there'll be that many answers. Okay, so the test is made up of 10 multiple choice and 20 short answers. Now, on the multiple choice part of tests, the thing you have to be able to do in the AP if you're going to be successful in the AP exam, you've got to be able, there's no real one-cut answer. You can't, you know, the person that sits in the fourth chair in this row is A. Mackenzie Cottrell. Okay? There's none of those kind of questions. It might say, row 3 of AP US History consists of the following students. A. Talon Lloyd. B. Nick Shriver. C. Mackenzie Cottrell. D. All of the above. E. A and C above. F. B and C above. So they're higher level thinking. So if you come to what you think is absolutely right, you may want to read the whole thing to make sure there's not a better answer. You see what I mean? Those are called higher level multiple choice. So the multiple choice you're going to get might have just a straight pat answer, but you might have to think about it. It might be none of the, I might mention row 3 and none of them are in that row. Or 2 of them are. Or 1 of them are. But you got to read through the whole thing. So make sure that you read through the multiple choice and answer, you know, look at all 4 choices or 5 choices and make sure you have the correct one. They're not really trick questions, you just got to think a little more. So just keep that in mind. With that in mind, I want Mr. Kroger to tell me what a refuge is. A place that provides protection. Okay? Okay, so get your notebooks out. Keep paying attention here. A refuge is a place that provides protection. That's correct. What is a forefront of a movement, Mason?
That would be
Forefront of a movement.
a vanguard.
A vanguard, very good. Milo, what would be something that is ordered? What's another word for that? Decreed, very good. And finally, Will, what is a prophecy? As we use it in class, you could be beheaded. I'm not believing in the prophecy of Jesus. What was the name we used for prophecy? Well, you said it, I think.
Huh?
I think you said it.
I did.
What did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, well, say something. The what of Jesus? Kyle, help him out.
The divinity.
Divinity. So obviously those definitions are going to be on the test, so you need to know those. You need to know what a place that provides protection is called, what a forefront of a movement is called, something that is ordered, and a prophecy. You need to know what those are called definition-wise. Okay? Rookie, in Maryland, where did tobacco farming depend on labor from? In Maryland, where did tobacco farming depend on labor from? Where did they get their labor? Who provided the labor for the tobacco farms in Maryland? I'm thinking too much today. It's pretty... Without even looking at your notes, who do you think might provide labor on a farm? Will, you ever won?
Slaves.
Slaves, yeah, absolutely. Black slaves were after.
They left where?
No, I said, where did they get their labor from? Yeah, black slaves from Africa. Who else provided labor for them?
Indentured servants.
Indentured servants. Any others who get Indians?
Yes.
No, not in Maryland. So if I gave you a multiple choice and include Indians on that, would you want to say that was true? No, so just be a little careful. Very good. Okay, tell me one thing, Nayabeth, that the act of toleration did. One thing the act of toleration did.
Allowed tolerance to all Christians.
You didn't allow it, guaranteed.
Oh, guaranteed.
Guaranteed tolerance to all Christians. How about another thing, Sierra?
Agreed the death penalty for those who deny the divinity of Jesus.
Okay, would that be also the predictions of Jesus? Would divinity be defined as predictions too? Yeah? Yep. Predictions, or prophecies, or philosophy. Yep. How about another one there? Bailey?
Extended a cloak of protection for the Catholic minority.
Very good. Anything else? Just those three, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, what was the biggest prize in the West Indies in 1655? Biggest prize in the West Indies. Biggest prize. Was it cleared fields? It was kind of a prize, but it wasn't the biggest prize. Was it cheap labor from Africa? Was that the biggest prize? No, that cost. Okay, kind of. So what was the biggest prize? What did everybody want in the West Indies in 1655? Does anybody know that? Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica was the biggest prize in the West Indies in 1655. Okay, see if we were paying attention. I'll give you another shot, Nick. What cost in today's currency what cost in today's currency for a prime slave in 1700? What was that cost? 11,000 to about what? 11,000 like 20, almost 24. So between 11 and $24,000 is what a prime slave was worth in today's money in 1700. Somewhere, but you can think about between 11,000 and 24,000. Okay? Isn't that incredible? Some of you weren't here. Who wasn't here to hear that? We figured that out. Mason came up with that. He asked a very good question. He asked what was a slave worth, and so we looked it up. And in 1700, a prime slave was worth between 11,000 and 24,000 today's dollars. It was actually between 100 and 200 what? Sterling, which was a type of monetary unit in those days. But we'll go at today's price. Okay, Cody. Tell me one thing that the Barbados Slave Code of 1661 gave slave masters.
Control over the slave population.
Complete control over their slaves. Okay. How about another one, Kyle? What's another thing it gave slave masters the opportunity to do? Not only they had complete control of their slaves, but they had what?
Punish them however they felt.
They had the right to inflict vicious punishments for even the slightest infractions. What else did the Barbados Slave Code of 61 give the masters a responsibility? What did they have to do, Talon? By law.
They had to give the slaves a new outfit every year.
A new set of clothing. Yeah. Yeah. This isn't the fashion show. Okay. They gave slave masters a responsibility to provide each slave with one set of clothing per year. Okay. Meg? Who is the man who was given the throne of England in 1660 when they restored England after that Civil War, etc.? Who was the man that took over? Who restored the crown?
King Charles II.
King Charles II. Now, let me make a point here. Mason questioned my intelligence the other day by saying that he should give credit for King Charles when it should have been King Charles I. So I did a little research on it. He was absolutely right. King Charles had to be the first because he was King Charles. So, but King Charles II is not King Charles I. So make sure we don't get that messed up. So Mason got a point back. Got a boy, Mason. Okay, Mackenzie. Why were African slaves so advantageous to Carolina farmers concerning the growing of rice? Give me one reason why African slaves proved to be very advantageous to Carolina farmers concerning the growing of rice.
Slaves were experienced in rice growing.
They were very experienced in rice growing or cultivation. Courtney, give me another one.
They had a resistance to malaria.
They had a strong immune system and resistance to malaria. Very good. How about another, Hannah?
They were ideal labor in hot conditions.
They were very good ideal laborers in hot and swampy conditions. Make sure you know that, because there's a difference between a hot and a humid hot because of swamps. Blake Kroger and I figured that out in Dallas. I'd never been to Dallas before. In this time of year, mid-June, and it would rain like 10 minutes as hard as it could, and then the sun would come out and get 90 and it was just almost choke you, the humidity. So there's a huge difference between 90 degrees here in Worland and 90 degrees in Dallas, so keep that in mind. Okay, Carly, who was Georgia launched by? See, this is kind of a trick question, see if you get it. Not really, but you have to think a little. Who was Georgia launched by? Colony of Georgia, who was it launched? What was it launched? Who was it launched by? Who started the Georgia colony? That might be easier. Could be one person, which it was. Could be a group of people, which it was. No? Shania? What? Yeah, I didn't expect you to take the easy way out, or the hard way. You did. Philanthropists that were led by who? Kylie? Who led those philanthropists?
James Oglethorpe.
James Oglethorpe. Very good. So, if I gave you multiple choice and said that Georgia was launched by a high-minded group of philanthropists, B, James Oglethorpe, C, Lord Baltimore, or D, Lord John Wesley, what was your, and then it said A and B, see what I'm saying? You're going to be two answers here, so make sure you figure that out. Okay, Chantel, give me one reason why there was a large need for labor on the sugar plantations in the West Indies. Give me one reason why there was a large need for labor on the sugar plantations in the West Indies.
Extensive land clearing.
Extensive land clearing, very good. Buck, what was the other reason there was a large need for labor on the sugar plantations in the West Indies? Yeah, the refining, I put this, the refining of the sugar cane. The refining of the sugar cane took a lot of labor. Okay, Taylor. What were those formal codes to control the large slave population in the West Indies established to do? There's two things, give me one. What were the formal codes to control the large slave population in the West Indies established to do? What were they? They ended up being called the Slave Code of 1661, right? Oh, what's that?
Control.
No. What were they established to do? Shania?
To define their legal status and on their master's power.
Okay, define the slave's legal status and to define their master's prerogatives, which means power. So there's another definition. You should know what prerogatives means. It means power. So, again, the formal codes were established to do two things. Define the slave's legal status, which was basically zip, right? And to define their master's prerogatives or power. You can put power if it's a short answer. If it actually defined it, you would need to put prerogatives, okay? All right. Where am I at? Gracie, why did small farmers from the West Indies migrate to the southern colonies in the first place?
The sugar lords were running them out.
Yeah, perfect answer. The sugar lords were running them out. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Very good. Madison, what was the name of the busiest seaport in the southern colonies? Busiest seaport in the southern colonies.
Charleston?
Charleston. That's right. Okay. Soraya, what type of Virginians migrated south into what we know today as North Carolina? What type of Virginians migrated south? What type of Virginians migrated south? What type of Virginians? Okay, look, you got.
They were the ragtag poverty-stricken outcasts.
There, that was perfect. Very good. Ragtag, poverty-stricken outcasts. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Ragtag, poverty-stricken outcasts. Very good. Megan, give me one of the two enemies that the colony of Georgia protected the Carolinas from. That's 2. French from
Louisiana.
French from Louisiana, and what else, Nick?
Spanish from Florida.
Spaniards, or Spanish from Florida. Very good. Milo, what's a subsidy? Subsidy. Georgia's the only colony to get subsidies because they provide that border, that buffer protection. What's a subsidy? Another definition. What's a subsidy? 3 words. What is a subsidy? Shh. Well, gift of aid. Very good. Gift of aid. Subsidy is a gift of aid. Okay, these high-minded philanthropists that went into Georgia had a 4-part plan. Brookie, give me one part of that plan. They had a 4-part plan in Georgia. When they got there, they were going to do 4 things. Give me one of them. First one is most obvious. The whole reason they were put there, thus the subtopic.
Barrel buffer.
What would be the, yeah, but what would be the right answer? The plan was to protect their neighboring northern colonies, right? Which was what? What were their neighboring northern colonies? North and South Carolina. Okay? Madison, give me another of the 4-part plan.
They're going to produce silk and wine.
Produce silk and wine. Very good. Buck, another one. What's the 3rd part of that plan? They're not in any particular order, but give me one. What does that mean? AP students cannot say this. Didn't watch the video?
No, I didn't have internet.
Didn't have internet in today's age.
How would we?
Well, now I might buy that. If you were in Wheatland, you might not have anything for you. Wheatland doesn't have internet?
I wouldn't be
God dang, I
surprised.
gotta call a buddy of mine. You know, I just talked to a friend of mine last night, believe it or not, Bill Allison. I played basketball with him in high school. I haven't seen him for years. He's been living in Wheatland since 1983. We were talking for quite a while last night. I'm gonna call him tonight and see if they have no internet service in Wheatland. Incredible. So Hannah, you help Buck out, Mr. No Internet Service in Wheatland.
Provided a haven for people getting out of jail for debt.
That away, provided a haven for people that had been in prison for debt. Now, why was that, Talon? Why in the world did these high-minded philanthropists put something like that in?
Because James Oglethorpe lost a good friend who died in the damage.
Perfect. God, this is great. Buck, don't feel bad you're screwing everything up today, okay? Because you could watch the video last. Were you in Wheatland yesterday?
The kid didn't even work, so.
You were in Wheatland on Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, no. What time did you get home?
Like 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Went right to bed? Attaboy. I believe you probably did. Okay, and finally, what was the final reason, Chantel, that final part of the plan that they had?
Keep slavery out.
Keep slavery out of Georgia.
That'll work.
Worked for a while. Now, who were the 2 types of people that lived in Georgia mainly? It was a melting pot, in Savannah especially, but what did the most of the community consist of, Blaine?
German Lutherans,
German Lutherans
Scottish Highlanders.
and Scottish Highlanders. Very good. We're the only group there, Mackenzie, who are the only group that really didn't have religious toleration in Georgia? They were still kind of persecuted. What were the Catholics? Okay?
How do you spell Lutherans?
What's that?
How do you spell Lutherans?
Lutherans. Luther.
You spell it denture blue.
No!
Okay, who was John Wesley? Sierra? Who was John Wesley?
The most successful missionary.
And what did he do that would be of significance today?
Trying to convert people into the Methodist ways.
He actually founded the Methodist Church. Okay? Okay, Cody, give me one of the 3 reasons why Georgia grew slowly, was the least populated of the 13 colonies.
Because the people didn't wanna live, or you couldn't farm.
How come? Yeah, I wouldn't put that, I would put early restrictions on black slavery would be a reason. People weren't interested in, he's right, people weren't interested in going there and farming because they couldn't provide any labor. Okay, how about another reason? Well,
An unhealthy climate.
yep, and how about another one, Gracie?
Continued attacks from Spain and France.
That's correct. Now, I actually, not so much, yeah, I actually found out another reason why it grew real slowly. They appeared not to have internet service. So nobody wanted to go there. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Poor Buck. Everybody feels sorry for Buck now? Okay, here we go. Soraya, give me one of the plantation colonies in America.
Georgia.
Give me another one, Kylie.
I didn't hear the question.
Give me another of the plantation colonies in America. Of the 13, 5 were plantation. Georgia was one.
North and South Carolina.
That'd be 2 more, thank you. We got 2 left. How about another one there, Mason? So far we got Georgia, North and South Carolina. Kylie took the double on that one.
Virginia.